Radio.
You're listening to Cryptocurrent, the only podcast that explores the bold projects, exciting opportunities, and the growing reach of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Whether you've got skin in the game or you're just crypto curious, keep an open mind, enjoy the conversation, and stay cryptocurrent. Now here's your host, Richard Carthon.
Hey everyone, we're excited to announce our partnership with World Blockchain Summit Asia. WBS, organized by TrustCon, has been an integral part of the global crypto and blockchain community, hosting over 15 summits around the globe thus far. WBS Asia will take place virtually on July 16th, 2020, featuring the most influential voices in global blockchain and crypto communities such as David Chum, Roger Ver, and Tim Draper, and many more. For more details, visit asia.worldblockchainsummit.com and use our exclusive coupon code CC10 to get a 10% discount on tickets. And now for the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I got a special guest all the way out in New Jersey, but actually spent some time here in Austin, and we got to connect on that a little bit before the show started. But we have Amar with HyperLinq. How are you doing today?
Hey, Richard. Wonderful speaking with you. I'm very fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Today is Father's Day, so I'm sure that you're going to have a really good time, and I'm happy that we're getting to talk. But, before we dive into today's conversation, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely, and thank you. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I do have 2 kids, so it's wonderful. I mean, spending time with your kids. I'm a computer engineer and scientist by profession and education. I was born in India. I grew up in India and then moved to the United States about 10 years ago. A majority of my life was spent in financial services industry. I used to work for world's largest interdealer broker. So most of my experience is in FinTech, architecturing and designing and developing trading systems, APIs, and automated trading. So that's my overall background.
So tell us a little bit about, what was your first introduction into the cryptocurrency and blockchain space? What year was it, and what was the conversation that kind of just opened your mind to the space?
Although I was in tech, but I was very, I got introduced to Bitcoin sometime in 2008. And I wasn't introduced because Bitcoin was being traded or it was an asset or currency, whatever you want to call it. I got introduced to it because of the technology. So somebody passed on the white paper from Satoshi Nakamoto. I read that, very interested, and I was very curious about how this can revolutionize the financial industry as well as overall what the impact would be on people in terms of making financial system more open and inclusive. But I was still skeptical at that point. I'm still a little bit skeptical today as well in terms of what scalability situation is for Bitcoin. But right. that kind of pulled me into cryptocurrency and blockchain space. And then I started exploring other possibilities of blockchain in other industry segments as well.
Which is great. And I mean, you bring up a good point of the scalability of Bitcoin and so many other things in the crypto space. One of the underlying issues has been in just how can we scale this at a place to where it's used in every day and without people really having to know about it. So once you're starting to look at this, you have your background with trading and looking at some of these different algorithms. I know that you saw a ton of opportunity in the crypto trading world. So tell us about what made you want to start HyperLinq and when did you kind of dive into it and tell us a little bit about that story.
Sure. As I mentioned before, I used to work for world's largest interdealer broker. So we were very much involved into trading derivatives and equities and other capital markets, Forex, for example. And one of my very good friend and a product manager at the same company, Karamveer, who is also a co-founder at HyperLinq, he started introducing me to the trading aspect of cryptocurrencies. And at that point, we started figuring out that there was a lot of disparity in prices between exchanges, and there was a huge arbitrage opportunity. back in the day. Of course, it doesn't exist anymore as much.
Right.
But then we looked at a lot of tools. There were existing tools that were connecting multiple exchanges and allowing you to trade, but there was none which actually did smart order routing, for example, or automatically execute arbitrage for you. Even though it used to connect to multiple exchanges, the user experience was really flawed. Privacy was a big concern. So for those reasons, we started building our own app. It wasn't intended for public use. We started building early 2018, and it was for us. And then we gave it to some of the friends, trader friends. They loved it. They started requesting more features and stuff. So we started formally building it for public in late 2018.
Amazing. So you're at late 2018. Of course, the market had just gone on a complete roller coaster from the rise of late 2017 to early 2018. You have the dip, and then now you're building out and you built out this really cool tool. Now you have people using it. So fast forward to 2 years later, where are you currently at, and what's been going on in the world of HyperLinq?
Yeah. So by end of 2018, as you mentioned, the market was pretty slowed down. It was slowing down gradually. So it was a great time to build a product. And then when the market is ready, we can show it to people. But since then, we launched our version 1 in mid 2019, but we had to pivot to a different concept altogether, I would say. We do not focus on multi-exchanges as much as we focus on user experience now. And also we figured out that people are not so privacy concerned as we imagined they would be. And so version one was decentralized in a way that we had nothing on our side, and people would download the app on their desktop and they would connect peer-to-peer with the exchanges, and they can trade with on multiple exchanges. But really that hindered in a way that we couldn't implement a lot of server-side features like automations and advanced order types and stuff. And from the feedback we got from people, they were not so privacy concerned as we were personally. But there was still security concerns. So security concerns could be managed in different way. Like we do encryption in transit and at rest, and also users could limit their API keys with IP and don't put withdrawal permissions, for example. So given that, we pivoted and we were not focused too much on privacy rather than creating tools that would enhance your user experience, make trading more efficient and productive for you, so that in the end it's less stressful and you make more profit.
Got you. And I think focusing on the user experience side and just taking back from it is very important. And because what a lot of these other platforms that I've noticed, the user experience isn't that great. It's just more of like, I go on here to trade, I do X, Y, Z. But what makes the better exchanges that I've been on more sticky is that they've thought with the end consumer in mind. So I guess, can you kind of speak a little bit to who's your ideal end customer that would come on and use HyperLinq?
So for us, it doesn't really matter which exchange you trade on or how many exchanges you trade on. An ideal customer would be a retail customer who would, for example, trades on Binance or trades on KuCoin or Coinbase Pro. And these platforms do not give you enough tools to be able to make proper trading decisions. So for those users, we provide an integrated solution where you have charting, you have technical analysis, you can save your drawings and analysis, and you can basically put advanced order types like OCOs and ladders. And not just that, once you're done trading, we have a very nice tool to analyze your trading performance, for example. So you can do P&L analysis. You can look at what your break events were, or how many trades you won, how many trades you lost, what was your average winning size, and stuff like that. So those kinds of insights are not available on the exchanges themselves. And also we have trading from chart. One of the cool features, for example, I would like to throw it out there is you could manually trail the market using our tool, because we have something called drag to update live orders. And so you don't really have to cancel an order. You can just keep dragging with the market up or down. So those kinds of user experiences are not there on the exchanges. Some of the exchanges do provide some tools which are better than others. For example, Binance has a better suite of tools than Coinbase Pro. Um, but in the end, exchanges' responsibility is not building those kinds of tools. I think exchanges' primary responsibility is to provide you a matching engine and provide you liquidity, right? So, yeah.
And so just my understanding and what I think is really cool about this is that you're basically making this hyper-focused and hyper experience for your like hardcore traders that want to make the advanced trades that you're very limited to be able to make on most exchanges. You're the bridge that's connecting all of these different islands in the world of trading to be able to all kinds of different kind of trade orders and be able to automate it, but then also be able to do reporting that most of these others also don't allow for as well.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Automation, so the app 2.0 is still in beta, so automation is still being built out, but there's a lot of scope for manual trading as well. And manual trading is not going to go out the door at any time, because automation is cool, but not everybody wants to do it, and not everybody is comfortable doing it. So automation is definitely on the roadmap. But manual trading also is very stressful on exchanges themselves. And it's an integrated solution, all around solution. So you have like portfolio management. You can manage multiple accounts in the given exchange, for example. But at the end of the day, you should be able to look at all the data and make sense of it and make proper trading decision, make your trades, collect your profit, and be able to analyze what you did, right? So that's really important.
For sure. And I definitely see a lot of practicality for this, and can definitely be used, especially for the more advanced traders out there and for people who are looking for that next level of trading, especially for using tools like this. So I know that you are able to use audiences that are based in the US, but also internationally as well, which I also think is really cool and great that the solution kind of just affects everyone. Because for a lot of trading tools and things out there, unfortunately, the US citizens are usually neglected and said, like, actually, you can't use this. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so we are a US-based company. We're a Delaware C corporation, and we're very proud to be a US company, and we integrated Coinbase Pro, for example, and we have Binance US as well. So our focus always has been to cater to the US customers. But if you look at our user base, majority of them are outside US, actually. But we are leaning towards building a better user base in US itself, especially for like Coinbase users and the new exchanges that's like, FTX is coming in US as well, for example. So we are bringing derivative exchanges. So we recently partnered with FTX, and FTX is coming on our platform. We partnered with Binance Futures. I know US customers can't trade on futures. But eventually, once we have more exchanges with more liquidity in US, we're soon going to integrate them as well. So
right. And that's really cool. And I mean, I think the fact that you're building out all the infrastructure, so whenever someone finally says like, yep, y'all can go for it, you already have it built out. So that is very, very cool. But to kind of shift gears just a little bit, I mean, I know that you have been in the industry for a while now, and I'm sure you see all kinds of things on the horizon in the space. Do you want to kind of speak to some of the things that you're looking out for?
Absolutely. I'm very, very interested, for example, personally speaking, on the scalability, just to have, going back on scalability factor, I'm very interested in Lightning Network, for example. And a lot of people are not even aware where the Lightning Network is headed to and where they are currently, right? So I'm very, very interested in that. But I'm also interested in the e-commerce sector, right? So e-commerce is kind of untouched right now. I think blockchain has a lot of power to fuel growth in e-commerce in a different way, in more peer-to-peer fashion, for example. And I'm also interested in healthcare, for example, how best you can manage like health records and like it's very centralized right now, your medical records, electronic records, right? So, and also I'm very much interested in identity and authorization, for example. So if those can be moved to blockchain as well, because some of these projects do not need scalability as much. I know there is an argument that a lot of blockchain projects are really, really scalable and fast and whatnot. But if you look at the technology, it's not really like how Bitcoin is. They're kind of still very, very centralized in a way of saying, right?
What do you think? The world has changed very rapidly because of everything happening with COVID and everything else. How do you think the crypto and blockchain community and world are being affected as well, and how do you think they are adapting?
Not only COVID. I mean, overall, if you look at the world, there is a lot of economic strain on people, right? And a lot of countries are not doing well, especially, for example, in South America. A lot of people are stuck; they're losing jobs and whatnot. So there are a lot of people in the world who are not included in the formal financial system, right? So crypto is definitely giving them opportunity to be part of an open financial system, and so that empowers people, right? I mean, you can manage your own money, you can transfer money to people, you can run relief funds, for example. So blockchain and cryptocurrency is definitely going to help in those sectors.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think those are a lot of really valid and great points. And I mean, one of the things that you kind of brought up earlier that I think is definitely being affected by this is people having access to money and having, the peer-to-peer aspect, where a lot of from the global economy, their dollars or whatever they use are weakening, and something like cryptocurrency, like a Bitcoin, is a lot more stable. And so you're seeing a lot of global money being poured into the crypto space because it's being seen as more secure, and it could be a great hedge against everything that's going on in the world. So I definitely see, from a macro level, a lot of opportunity moving in that direction. And I think that's going to continue at an even faster pace because of what's going on in the world.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
No doubt. Well, really appreciate everything that you've been able to share with us today. But I like to ask everyone before they finish up, what is a final thought that you want to leave with all of our listeners here today?
I definitely want to talk about the injustice that's happening around us, and we can't have a blind eye to it. I think we all are responsible and accountable to make the world a better place. Blockchain, cryptocurrency, let's include everyone, have financial inclusion, and also empower people. I think a lot of the discrimination, a lot of minorities that they're facing problems could be fixed if we empower them, and if we help them build their own economic status and help them create new businesses and opportunities. And I think blockchain can help in those areas.
I think that's a great final thought. And I think that is a great final message for everyone definitely listening today. Let's stay in this solidarity. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's find ways to connect and not destroy each other up. Let's keep building and empowering each other, and definitely keep doing that. And I really do appreciate you sharing that final message. But, what are some different ways that people can connect with you and learn more about HyperLinq?
Absolutely. We do have a Discord community, which is pretty active. We recently started it about a month ago, and we have about 400 traders or more there. So definitely join us on Discord. It's a very lively community. We talk about trades, we talk about technical analysis, and of course, our team is available there to take your feedback. But we are very active on Twitter as well. So you can connect with me personally on Twitter. I'm sure Richard is going to send a link.
Yes.
Of my profile. And I do work towards mass adoption of cryptocurrencies. So I do have a lot of giveaways in the crypto space. I pretty much run a couple of them a week. So check that out. I do have HyperLinq profile on Twitter as well. So follow us for updates. And of course, download the app. Try it out at least. It's in beta. It's free to try. We haven't started any subscriptions yet. So it's great time to try it out and give us feedback and tell us what you want built. We definitely listen to our users, and we do have special perks for all our beta users.
Excellent. Well, definitely appreciate that. Everyone listening, definitely go check that out. Amar, I really appreciate your time today, and for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent. Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to another episode of Cryptocurrent. For more information on this episode and all of our episodes, please visit us at www.crypto-current.co. Stay up to date with the latest news in cryptocurrency. You'll receive daily emails Monday through Friday that are personalized and curated content specific to you and your interest, powered by artificial intelligence. Are you an accredited investor looking to invest in cryptocurrency? Crescent City Capital can help. Go to crescentcitycapital.com for more information. If you're finding value in our content, please take 5 minutes to leave a 5-star review and a great comment. Also, please make sure to share this podcast with others. Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the quality of this podcast. I can only thank my amazing producer, Andrew DeRitter, with DeRitter Productions, who has put this together. If you have any podcast, visual, or video needs, please go to DeritterProductions.com. That's DERITTER Productions.com.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cryptocurrent with Richard Carthon. We'll be back with more exciting developments from the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency next week. But until then, stay cryptocurrent.
Please use available exits now.